Everyone.
Good
It is
morning.
Wednesday. What is it? It's already December. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Isn't
God.
it? Isn't it?
It's
Exactly.
December 2nd, 2020. And welcome to the Game Changing Work channel. Hi, I'm Veronica.
I'm
And,
Roxana.
and today we are going to talk about happiness and the brain. And as what we do on the channel, it's always merging the world of life and work together. And you know what I'm noticing here right now? Where are our name labels?
Our name labels are
Oh,
here.
there they are. Oh, okay. See, I'm like not even understanding our Restream platform and how it's working. And it's not like I'm on it.
Well, it's
As a
not
leader.
like we were born with Restream, so we're still learning, as we always say. So that is fine. Whenever we put the caption on, the names go off. So
So let's jump into what we're going to talk about today. So last week we talked about gratitude
yeah.
and the relation to with your brain. And so we're going to keep going on this theme because I think it's really important for us to hit home on the connection and the psychology of how you think in gratitude, happiness, joy, enlightenment, and all these different levels of how it helps you with your mindset. And my new word now is mindset fitness. That all the successful people out there, if you ever watch or read any of their autobiographies, they always talk about, even Oprah Winfrey, those of you that love the Oprah, and all of them will talk about the things that they do as part of their success routine. And so these things that we're actually sharing, it's not about the fluffy and, kiss me, hug, and be happy thing. This is also about success. And they're directly correlated, because the most successful people, what they realize, if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not in that right mindset, eventually you will burn out. And I shared, I don't know what show that we had when we talked about where they have done studies to people that are really successful and they've never really addressed some of the mindset and those negative emotions and things that are happening by a certain age, about when you hit about like your 40s. This kind of goes in if with midlife crisis, they start to really hit a wall. And this is where things start happening in their life. Now, they might be able to still function and go to work, but maybe their world and their private life starts to crumble. So something is going to give, is my point. Yeah. And you see it all the time in Hollywood with movie stars, right? As they start to, get to a certain point and they hit that. Or Wall Street is probably a great example. A lot of lawyers, right? Oh, I was thinking of a movie a TV show. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched Suits on USA Network. Harvey Specter. Okay, I had a mad crush on that dude. I love that character. That is a great example. Highly successful, but as the seasons went by, you started to see he was starting to crash. Yeah. And it was all the things that his negative emotions and his baggage that he kept pushing away with his mother, right? And that relationship and all the other things that he was not, wanting to deal with, of having a strong relationship. It started to impact his life and career in the decisions he was making. Yeah. So all of these things that we're talking about, it is extremely valuable. If you're a pragmatic person and you're not into the touchy-feely, I really wanted to be real clear about this. Yeah. You have a vested interest about these topics.
And I think I love that, because for people who are more pragmatic, the studies actually show that money can only buy happiness up to $75,000. After that, they have money has no significant effect on how we emotionally feel. And that's, if you haven't read Daniel Kahneman, go look him up, because he also won the Nobel Prize in economics, and that's the one of the
I didn't
studies
even know
around.
that. That's a great fun fact. See, I love when our brains just get together and we start talking
I
about
love
certain things.
no, I love that. And actually, let me research, because I can't. Thinking
Now,
fast
as
and
you're,
slow.
you're
I
pulling
will
this
put it
up,
as a caption.
there's I have an article that I actually put in our YouTube show. So if you go to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe and like today's show, in the description is where we always add the extra information. So even though we stream across a bunch of different platforms, you're always going to get your source in the main platform on YouTube, where we can put all that information in the description. So just be mindful of that, folks.
So here's the book that I was referring to, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman.
And
it's
you should put that
it tells you
also in the YouTube description, and not forget about that.
We'll sure do that.
Now,
so we're actually talking about emotional well-being. When we talk about happiness, we're not talking about pragmatic things. We're talking about and not even genetics. It's a sum of experiences in our day-to-day lives, and how those experiences make us feel. It's all about how we feel, because that's, again, talking about mindset and returning to that. How we feel is going to make us act in a certain way, and because we act in a certain way, we get certain results, and we end up liking those results because we acted the right way, because of how we felt. So it's all a chain reaction.
You ready to get a little geeky? So I'm going to pull up that article.
Yes.
And the definition of happiness. Happiness is understood as the positive emotions we have in regards to pleasurable activities we take part through in our daily lives. Now, there's a broad understanding of human well-being is made up of both hedonic and, I might not even say this correctly, eudaimonic principles. And that's that personal meaning and purpose in life. And so research on happiness over the years, they included is personality type, positive emotions versus negative emotions, which I talk about that a lot, attitude towards physical health, social class and wealth, attachment and relatedness, goals and self-efficacy, I never can say that word, and time and place. And so they've done a lot of looking at the science of happiness within this article. And I'll share a couple of the recent studies. Money can only buy happiness up to 75, which you said. Yeah. Most of our happiness is not determined by our genetics, but our experience of our day-to-day lives. Trying too hard to find happiness often has the opposite effect and can lead us to be overly selfish. Pursuing happiness through social means is more likely to be effective than other methods. The pursuit of happiness is one place where we should consider ditching the SMART goals. Alert, people, ditching the SMART goals.
What? No SMART goals. Oh my God.
It may be more effective to pursue vague happiness goals than more specific ones. We might need to dive into that one a little bit, but let's circle back on that one, because SMART goals are really popular. And those of you that are coaches use SMART goals. And I started actually, one of my coaching clients is start using intentions because of what goals do. And that specificity when you don't have any flexibility, when you're trying to figure out things. So anyways, that's another topic we probably need to put on our list. Happiness makes us better citizens. It is good predictor of civic engagement in the transition of adulthood. Happiness leads to career success, and it doesn't have to be natural happiness. And so researchers have found that experimentally enhancing positive emotions contribute to improved outcomes at work. And then here's the last one. There's a linear relationship between religious involvement and happiness. Higher worship service attendance is correlated with more commitment to faith, and commitment to faith is related to greater compassion. Those more compassionate individuals are more likely to provide emotional support to others, and those who provide emotional support to others are more likely to be happy.
Well, and we kind of made that connection last time as well when we talked about gratitude and how gratitude helps us develop that skill of empathy, of self-esteem, of selflessness and optimism. And all of these in turn, they create happiness, because happiness is not, and I think what we're saying with everything that we just went through is happiness is an internal thing. It's not, no external thing can make you happy, or it can make you happy up to some point, but after that point you kind of need to figure it out on your own and figure out that internal happiness. And I think it's also related a lot when we talk about happiness. We talk about motivation, we talk about engagement, we talk about inclusion, because when we feel happy we feel we matter,
Yeah.
and we feel we matter in a way that's important to us. That's the thing, that's why it's all personal.
And again, and that is why life and work, and you know me, where I always talk about life coaching. And I had my show last night where me, you know, being an agile coach, we aren't typically hired for the people part of things, which I think that's where I'm kind of going through my woes and why I've started this personal transformation and, you know, why I'm bothered by things. But let's talk about work. So in this article, and again, it will be in our YouTube description. So if you guys want to read it yourself, people who are happy with their jobs are less likely to leave their jobs, less likely to be absent, and less likely to engage in counterproductive behaviors at work.
I don't think we're surprised by that, are we?
Yeah. People who are happy with their jobs are more likely to engage in behavior that contributes to happy and productive organization. I forgot my spot. More likely to be physically healthy and more likely to be mentally healthy.
Yeah, because they're more aware of what makes them happy and when we talk about happiness, we talk about also triggers of happiness. So what are your triggers of happiness? What makes you feel happy? And then you can break that down and see, is it when I have a great idea that I can contribute with? Is it when I finalize the project? Is it when I polish the project? Is it when I create strategies and planning and do all of that stuff with my colleagues? Is it when I'm engaged in meaningful conversations, or is it when I'm focused in my work and finishing it up, or is it a combination of it? Because I think this is where we as individuals need to dive into what makes us feel happy and motivated and engaged. And that comes to what you're saying about personal development, about getting there before you're hit by the midlife crisis, because that's where the midlife crisis comes in, where you're pretty good on the surface, but then you don't know enough about yourself and what makes you happy and what motivates you as a person.
And personal care and well-being, you know, and kind of, you know, all of these things we're going to talk about performance and productivity. I don't need to read all these bullet points, because at the end of the day, and we talk about with the GC index, how you can measure impact. And that's where people want to put their natural energy, which is where their passion, which equates to more happiness, by the way. Mm-hmm. You're actually doing things where you can all make an impactful contribution that you feel better about yourself as well. And I think really it's so important for people to start thinking about this. No matter where you are in life. Now, I have a mission where I would love to start seeing this in education systems at a young. All teachers actually learn life coaching skills and really have this mindset fitness. This is my new word. And helping, because imagine, you know, I hear all the time really sad news of someone leaving this earth. I've had a lot of friends or people I know with their kids that have chosen to part in a way that they chose to do in a destructive way. Let me just say it that way. Suicide, drugs, alcohol, you name it. And I think even thinking about it, I had a best friend that did that. She always told me she was going to die at the age of 40. Okay. And I don't forget. I don't handle this stuff very well, I'll admit, but I don't forget these things. It actually sits and it resonates with me because I'm like, what can we do to change this in the world where people can help with this mental and mindset fitness? It's so important in life, and it's important in work if you're a business, because whatever's happening in their personal life, they're bringing it to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually, it's going to spill over, is my point.
Of course. And that's why it's like, I love saying that. And I love saying that, people challenges are business challenges, because who is there working on the business? Who is there doing all the work? It's the people that you work with. And they do bring their little baggage with them. We do that everywhere we go. We take, again, all of our beliefs or our values, all of our struggles, our experience, our knowledge, everything we take with us. And that shows in everything we do and in the way that we do it. So it's like, it's not a luxury. It's not a nice to have anymore. And I think this is where we've seen organizations struggle after the lockdown and the crisis hit, because people were starting to be unhappy because they couldn't plan anymore. They couldn't think about the future anymore. They couldn't do the things that they used to
They had to teach their kids at home and
exactly.
make a living,
right?
Or they're worried about making a living, and you had a business that you still had to run.
Yeah.
And I actually have a deep empathy for business owners that were trying to do both, survive.
Yeah.
Right? We were all completely in 2020 in survival mode. We really need to get into 2021 in thriving.
Yeah.
We've got to get past this. I have something to show, which is the levels of consciousness, because it's actually quite
put it up here.
And this is something I'm learning as a professional when I'm going in and working with people. Roxana knows that before our show, she comes on and she's hearing my happy radio Pandora, because I'm doing things to bring up my vibration levels. Because what I'm learning, and people that that I work with right now, with my client, they know that when we get on WebEx meetings, sometimes I'm listening to music, dancing, and doing crazy stuff, because this is why. I am trying to reprogram my mind or get psyched up in my mind to increase my positive vibrations, because I know it's contagious. It actually puts people in more of these moods. So you look at here, what it's showing is in these higher vibrations, you have love, joy, reason, peace, and enlightenment. These are the higher the vibration is, the energy that you're expanding out to the world. We're all made of energy, right? Any of those are science majors. We know that we are made of particles and energy, right? And all of the little things that are moving, we are made of that, just like anything else that is a living organism. And here you'll see the life view and some of those emotions of affirmation, trust, optimism, forgiveness, understanding, serenity, bliss, and then the life view on that. And you can see on the other side, meaningful, benign, harmonious, hopeful. And so that's kind of your outlook on life. This is all about your mindset, people. And this is why I say mindset fitness is that it transcends to everything, work and life and things that we do, but it also is contagious. You actually are doing good in the world by showing up this way. Believe it or not, you might be actually saving someone from a state of depression that day by the way you showed up. Wow. Now that's powerful.
Yeah, it is powerful and it is contagious. And this is why, And by the way, because we said we're going to talk about how we can create some daily habits, and yeah, okay, one of them would be the gratitude thing and expressing gratitude, because that automatically makes you think about things that are nice and that you like and that are thankful for. One other thing that I like, and I'll give you, and this is might be a shallow example, but I love it so much. So, for instance, whenever I do yoga, and it's on YouTube, and there's this instructor that, of course, she takes us through the exercises and everything. And what happens is, at some point, clearly, there's something that we struggle with. There's one of those yoga postures that you struggle with. And she says, smile, smile, keep your smile on. And it makes me laugh instantaneously whenever she says that, because I'm struggling to keep that posture and not fall or anything. And
You want
she
me to
says,
smile while she's at it, right?
smile, smile, come on, give yourself a smile. And that is so powerful, because it's, first of all, it's funny and it makes you laugh, not just smile. But then think about yourself. And I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't watched Amy Cuddy's TED Talk, how body language influences your mindset, or something similar. I never get the title right, but anyway, we'll put the link in the description. Just the smile and the posture.
It is like,
How
I
you
feel
sit.
funky, and if I actually, when I do this and I
It
just do these
changes.
stretches, and
Yeah.
I'm learning this in my neuro-linguistic programming, we also learn about body language.
Yeah.
And so this is why I'm so attached to this,
Mhm.
and really getting into all of these things, because it's so helpful. I never really realized all these things, and as I become more aware, just even complaining,
All
you
the
know, like,
time.
or just the posture, like just your facial expression. Like, I've been, when I daydream, my husband's like, "What's wrong?" And I didn't know, like, my daydreaming face must be horrible.
But that's
Do
a
you have
smart.
that? Come on. I know my sister and I always talk about that, because, like, I think we inherited that from our mom. Like, I don't know if that, what do people call it? The resting bitch face.
Okay.
But I'm actually having good dreams. Am I not smiling? Like, sometimes I think I need to be recorded. Like, what am I doing during when I'm daydreaming? But you wonder, like, this face, and then people are around you.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing the vibration down just by your facial expression.
Or
And so
because they don't understand why that facial expression.
I know. And so there are a lot of times I am now purposely forcing myself to smile, because it actually does something.
It does. It does.
You're right. Your yoga instructor is, like, spot on.
She is. And and whenever, and I have this other exercise that I did in the diction masterclass in the series. And this exercise of speaking with the pencil in your mouth, this makes you smile and laugh at the same time. It's like you want to have a good time, and
Well,
right, like that.
so if you talk about like this the whole time.
First of all, that's funny. It helps you with articulating, because it warms up your face muscles as well. But it also puts you in a good mood, because you have to smile so that you're able to keep the pencil in your mouth.
I'm
There's
gonna
no
have to
other
try
way.
that. That's a great tip.
So that's but definitely we communicate a lot without saying anything, with the body language and with the with eye contact and just the face expressions, as you said. And then what we can do, there are these tips that we can do to boost ourselves up, like smiling, like changing the posture, like sitting up straight or standing up straight and breathing properly. These are just little tricks that we have that are available to us at any point in time.
And this is related, kind of circling back to happiness in the brain. How you think and feel, it's all connected. Now, here's another thing. Our brain is so powerful, and this is why we're focusing on this, because our brain is what functions the rest of our body, right? So there are a couple 17 interesting fun facts. I'm going to pull out a couple. I don't know if you have it up, Roxana, but happiness is linked to lower heart rate and blood pressure. Happiness can act as a barrier between you and germs. So right now, those of you that are concerned about COVID, get happier because it actually impacts your immune system.
Yeah, it does.
People tend to experience fewer aches and pains and dizziness. It's also a barrier against disease and disability because how you think about things, and they always say, if you hear a lot of people how they miraculously recover from something in more natural ways because of the way that they think and feel. And there's a lot of, you can watch a lot of videos, you know, of all these different methods that are out there. But the point is here, everything is related to the brain and how you think.
That supports the healing. And I have somebody, like, even if you're going, like, cancer treatment can be really, really draining for the body. But also there's a difference between patients that think positively and that do things to boost themselves up and support that treatment and basically heal a little bit faster, or they heal and they do it permanently, compared to others who think negatively about it and they struggle a lot with the treatment as well. So it's like this support system that we give ourselves as well.
And it is December and it is the holidays, and there was a reason why we're trying to have a theme of joy, happiness. And here's why. The holidays can be a stressful time.
Yeah.
So even for the happiest among us, an estimated 44% of women and 31% of men get the holiday blues. Mm-hmm. So, in weirdly enough, you see even suicide happens during this time of year.
Yeah, I think the expectations are so high, and
or people feeling lonely and all of that. So think about what I said about happiness can be contagious. And what's happening with people being isolated right now. So when we talk about how we can help each other is a phone call, something, you know, that could brighten someone's day, like I just said, could mean a world of difference for a lot of people that are out there today. And even when you're stressed about the holidays and buying something, is what are the things, what are the stories running your head? Do you think the person that you're buying for really cares about that expensive gift, or is it really more about you? And is it worth for you to worry about Christmas presents and Hanukkah presents and whatever that you're celebrating during the time of year, because money is a concern right now? So all of these things are how you are perceiving and how you are thinking about things. And so this is why we are doing this theme all month.
Yeah, because we need to, and we don't need to anything really. It's like, I think this month, let's ditch the SMART goals and the whole lot of expectations that we put on our plates and just be and just understand how we are, how we work, what we feel, what we think, what makes us happy. Because if we understand that, then we can influence other people around us to be happy, because again, it's contagious. So
I think you were just talking about me. Like, I'm actually physically going through this process where when you are reinventing and starting a different aspect of your business, the one thing that people always ask is, what do you offer? What do you want to do? What do you want to focus? And I kind of started like thinking, this is the holidays. It's supposed to be joyous. I don't even want to think about it. I don't. And
No.
you know what? I'm okay with that. And I will continue just enjoying and being and going with the flow. A lot of people talk about being in the present and flowing. And we'll probably talk about that, with all the other things that we share during our show. So let's kind of start wrapping this up as it's already 8:55.
So
December, joy, cheer, and fun.
Okay, so let's talk about your weekly Live Mojo sessions.
So I kicked it off last night, and it's really about getting real. And what I'm starting with right now in the month of December, and I have no idea where we're going to go. Now, I'm always about that mindset, fitness, right? An empowering mindset, and really thinking about incorporating life coaching techniques and practices in your life. But I'm now going through the process of being an agile coach and organizations and people going through that journey. And I'm talking about that bridge between life coaching and agile coaching and that people side. So that is where I am right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not just about agile that I talk about. It's always going to be about the mindset piece of it. So come join me. We're getting real. And it's at 7:00 at night on my YouTube channel. So go to ReThink with Veronica channel. It's at 7:00 every Tuesday. And if you can't make it, watch the recorded sessions because last night's there for you.
I love last night's, by the way. It was a wonderful session. I was there. So
I totally did not stay on script. That's what I love about live events because I'm trying to be more authentic.
Yeah.
And not be polished. And I think it's really helping. I like live streaming.
Yeah. So for me, I wanted to talk about the Lead for Legacy League again, because my Black Friday offer stays there until the 15th of December. I thought, why not? Come on. Who says Black Friday should be only on that particular Friday? Who cares? So
they keep extending their sales anyways too.
Exactly. So so here's the I wanted to have this global online program for management and leadership development because, first of all, of what we said today, that people started to feel isolated and unhappy, and they start wondering who they are, what are they here for, what their purpose is, what motivates them. So this is where we talk about all of that. We talk about skills. We have online courses and group coaching and brainstorming and networking. So, and with people from anywhere, people especially who are managing teams and who are in that moment of their life where they've been promoted, or maybe they're looking for the next promotion and then they're wondering, what am I doing here? Am I really doing the right thing? So stay tuned because I talk about the league also in my free bite-sized masterclass that is free on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So
I'm going to put a plug too, Roxana, if that's okay, because I get a lot of submissions for leadership, career, life coaching on LinkedIn. And those of you that are putting out there for coaching to develop your leadership skills because you're wanting to be a better leader, or you're wanting to get a more of a leadership position in your career, this is also good for that. And I want to stress that because it's teaching you all these leadership skills.
Yeah.
So it's not even people that are already in it. It's people that aspire to
exactly. Yeah. And you learn them in great company, which matters a lot when we talk about mastery.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have your peer grouping.
Yeah.
So I wanted to plug that, and maybe, probably hone in on is anybody that's out there. It's also for aspiring leadership people that want to be in positions of leadership in organizations.
Okay, so next thing, subscribe to our YouTube channel. As always, we love to have you there. We'll love to hear your comments and your questions, and we're going to try and answer them here. And I want to say on Friday, we are going to be talking about how fun at work benefits us all. So stay tuned because we're continuing the fun, cheer, and joy for December. I think today was pretty, you see how when we talk about happiness, we can talk about it a lot. I don't think we talk about it enough.
We're include some remote things. So we are thinking about our current situation. So it's not just in-person fun. We are going to share some creative ways to actually have fun for today. what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see you guys on Friday, and peace out. Bye-bye.